Hello everyone, this is Enzo Eigen of the Alliance for Loki, and this is war number 4 against NEWN, who is a very good opponent. So this is our second sort of top 5, top 6 opponent we're facing this season. Yeah, they're good. We used to beat them off in the past, but lately we've on a bit of a losing streak against them, so hopefully we can reverse the curse and win this battle. So once again, I'm going in with a team I haven't used yet this season. This time, bringing in Nick, and then I'm also bringing in a surprise guest for this war, and that is Vision. So it's been interesting. We've been having a sort of an interesting debate about, is Vision a good character, a good champion or not? And you know, I bought the 6-star, and I'm really excited about him, but most people in my alliance were like, oh, we'd never ever use him. I still think he's really relevant in this game, and I was going to prove it with this war against one of my fights. And so I have Ghost, Nick, and Vision, and we're going in, and once again I'm sort of back up path 4, and so everything's cleared, and so I don't have to do anything in the first round, and then this is the first fight I have in section 2, and this is that path 4. So of course, as always, I boost up. I've done this fight a few times now, and this is a steady build-up. And so I'm really interested about Nick Fury because he can purify debuffs, and apparently every time I purify debuffs, I become unblockable for several seconds. So that's great. So I'm sort of curious to see if I can actually get that mechanic to work in this game. Nick Fury, of course, when he knocks them down, he purifies any non-damaging debuffs on him, and Mr. Fantastic puts a lot of non-damaging debuffs on you with his careful study, and I think there's weakness and taunts and all sorts of things. So unfortunately, my recording didn't work so well, so there's going to be some big glitches in this fight, so I apologize. But you know, I basically just going in, hitting him a bunch, and not worrying about too much. You know, there's that countdown timer. I have no idea what it is, but you see, he throws his special and I get those 2 debuffs, okay? So now my plan is exactly what I said. I'm going to throw a heavy and see what happens. So there's the heavy, and sorry, everything gets all mixed up in my recording, but I do go unblockable, which is amazing. And so it does work. This steady buildup is perfect. So it makes me unblockable. He's unblockable only because he's throwing his SP1, which I believe he is all the time, though I usually dodge that and kill him. So Nick Fury is really, really good for this fight because of the way he purifies debuffs. And so highly recommend him. I mean, you can see I finished 100% health. It was a pretty simple fight. He also was stubborn too, but that really doesn't come into play since I can parry, and that really takes stubborn out of the equation. So here it is. Here's the whole reason I brought in Vision. So this fight's a tricky fight because you have a Havoc, and the thing about Havoc is he puts up those plasma charges on you, which counts as debuffs, and he puts them on pretty quick. I thought Vision would be a good counter because if Havoc gets drained of his power, he loses all of his charges. So Havoc has to get 10 charges, and then he just starts putting the plasma charges on you. And so I'm aware of that. And then also, which makes this note tricky, is there's this crumbling armor. And so crumbling armor then can put a debuff on you, an armor break, if you don't attack. I think it's every 6 seconds. So you have to be really careful against Havoc, and that's why it's a good placement here. Last war, Pete ghosted him. Pete has a full ghost team, and of course, then you don't have to worry about his unblockable, as long as you can play pretty perfect ghost style, because of course then he just phases attacks and counter attack, and with the hood synergy you can also counter his the plasma detonate. So here I am going in, and you can see he loses his plasma charges when I do my power drain, which is great. Here I make a little bit of a mistake. You see I crit several times. So the other way he gains plasma charges is if you crit. So now he has 10, and you notice that he put 1 on me. And so, okay, that's danger. So that's 1 debuff. If I get 3, I'm in big trouble. He's unblockable. And they don't really expire until he gets to 10. So it's a long time he's unblockable. So now I'm at 2 because I get an armor break, so yikes. But I just keep on fighting. And sorry, once again, my recording does not do a very good job, and it is just very, what's the word I'm looking for? It just is bad, is the word I'm looking for. So it's alright, everything's sort of going fine. I'm sort of playing the fight. I'm really watching the plasma charges. So if I was going to do this fight again, I'd be more careful about his plasma charges when I was attacking him, just because, again, when I crit, I don't want to put too many on him. But of course, Vision gets lots of extra power, so he's always power draining. So things are going fine. This is a rank 3 Havoc, so plenty powerful. The most powerful Havoc you could fight in the game. But it's a pretty well controlled fight. I'm taking a fair bit of damage just through baiting out specials. I believe when he throws his SP1 too, he also loses his plasma charge, but I wasn't really thinking about that too much. Probably should look more and read his description more. Though I feel this fight is, again, very under control. I'm not too worried about things. I just, here his plasma charge is getting a little higher at 5, now 6, but again, power drain, and they're gone, and everything is good. And so I think this is an amazing counter for this Havoc here, and it just works so perfectly that I think it made a fairly challenging fight really straightforward. And I'm really, really happy to see that Vision still has a place even in high-level Alliance War. I think Vision's amazing. He's making me really think hard about rank 3ing him. I'm starting to dump a lot of 6 stones in him as a 6-star. And so I wouldn't mind having him as a rank 3, then he'd be, that next level. Because that's the problem. He's a little bit of a weak champ the way he hits, but, rank 3 Havoc gone, so still great. So I was really happy for that fight. I thought that was amazing, and again, love Vision, and just want to use him a lot. And so after this, okay, this is section 2, and then the rest of the alliance is sort of moving in section 2. This is early in the morning for me. This is like 6:30 in the morning. Of course, I don't do this fight, and so Legacy and Liza are with me in this section, and everyone else is moving, and then we get to the mini bosses. And so the problem is that this Spider-Gwen had stopped one of our fighters, and so we sort of course all talk about what we need to do, and it's basically decided that Brett or I would go in. I was of course reading chat, and I was like, okay, I'll do it. And then Dreamin, being our great officer, gives me good advice. He says, okay, only 1 hit because I don't want to. Well, I do go in, and then he quickly realizes that, oh, maybe that wasn't the right one, and he thinks I'm going to die in this fight. But let's just see how it goes. Maybe he needed to have a little more faith in me. Granted, she's only at about 36% health, but I'm going in with Ghost. I read everything. She again has this best defense, and she will evade a lot basically and get power from the evade, force, I degen if I don't hit her, and she's limber. So it's a pretty challenging node, and on top of that, she's a defender, which means she gets the benefit of the stubborn global. So I go in, I'm just like, oh, okay, oh, I see the indestructible. I'm like, oh, what's going on? And then I sort of realize it, so now I'm just going to parry her. I mean, one thing about my Ghost fighting styles, I actually use parry a lot, so for me it was pretty natural. What I'd forgotten about was limber, and you can see everything is going fine, and then she gained back pretty quick there, and I didn't really realize it, and so I sort of wasted a parry there. Oh, actually it's alright. I thought she was indestructible, but things are going okay, and I'm still being able to parry her, and right there everything's going good. But now I'm back in a corner, and I'm sort of worried about things, and so yeah, I'm just a little freaked out because I'm in the corner and I can't really do anything, and you can see now that one missed, so the parry doesn't work anymore because of limber. But luckily I'd gotten to my SB3 through the magic of being hit a lot, and with only 3% health left, that was the end of her, and so I get the victory. So I save the alliance. So it actually worked out pretty well, and yeah, I don't know, it would be an interesting fight if I was at full power. I'd really have to think about my strategy, because if she was at full health. And so that was my last fight of the war. Unfortunately, we did lose to New Nation. They beat us pretty well. They've become a really, really good war alliance, and so fun to play. But our season's been tough. We have a high war rating, so we're facing, of course, all the other challenging alliances, and we're 2-2 right now. So hopefully we get some slightly easier matchups, but who knows? We might face Kenobi and then ASR, and then continue our string of hard battles. But this is good too, because we need to be fighting these top alliances, because ultimately I think our goal is to be a top 3 alliance war alliance. We're always right on the cusp. We're always like 4, 5, 6, or 7, and it just takes us being able to beat these elite alliances in war. So hopefully it'll happen. But great job, New Nation. You played really well. They had a really solid war, and I have a feeling we will fight you again like we always do. So hope everyone enjoyed this video. Sorry about the laggy videos in the first 2 fights. I'll try to be more careful. I need to just close down some apps. But I look forward to seeing everyone in the next war. This is Enzo Eigen of the Alliance for Loki. Bye-bye.